Are you tired of feeling like a liability because you feel like the only thing you could do is do gens and you can't loop the killer, and when you try to 360 it doesn't work? Boy! Or maybe you just want to bully every Michael you see because of that one Michael that decided to bring nowhere and face camp you and chase you the whole entire game. So now seeing Michael suffer fills that void in your heart. Then you came to the right place, because in today's video I'll be teaching you how to loop the killer in 2022. Alright, first things first, the most important thing you gotta do, I'm talking, this is game breaking, could possibly be the only thing holding your skills back right now. And you know what that is, my fellow numbers? Your settings. Your settings. Yes, I know the setting. That's our part talking like what the settings, but yep, you're gonna go all the way to the controls, and what you're gonna do here is make sure your controller settings or keyboard, depending which one you're on, is at least 65 or higher. I should have 70 or higher, but I've seen people with 65. It can work, but you know, if you're on controller, you might as well go on 100. If you're on keyboard or mouse, I would say 70 or higher, but you know, I've seen people on 65. I know what you're saying. How is this going to help? It's going to help by rotating the camera. You need your camera to be able to move at a decent speed. And now, since we got the settings part out the way, let's continue. Looping, what is it and how do you do it? Looping is when you have the killer chase you for X amount of time, giving your teammates enough time to finish the generators so y'all can escape. This is usually done next to pallets, also next to windows. If you're feeling really neighbory, you can loop around freaking trees, objects, and a freaking car. A freaking car. Even though this might sound and look like fun, you must be warned. Once the killer realizes you're a good looper, most times they'll get salty and realizing that they've been chasing you for too long and the game's almost over anyway, so they're gonna go out their way to single-handedly chase you, and when they get you, they will face camp you. I got my eyes on you. Now that you know what you're getting yourself into, let's talk about how to loop. When you realize the killer's on you, your job is to instantly try to keep the killer on you as much as possible by annoying them, by doing annoying loops and abusing windows and pallets, and also holding angles very tight around corners so you can run as fast, because the killer is faster than you, so you can't be trying to have loose ends. As you see, I'm trying to hold the wall as much as I can as possible. This is very important, especially looping around fast killers while keeping your eyes on the killer, because he could double back or he could change directions. This is why it's good to have a fast camera, so you can switch between looking forward and keeping your eyes on the killer at all times, or at least having your eyes on where the red stain is. This is very important, especially around angles where you can't really see the killer. You need to know where he's looking at all times. Then when you find your loop, you want to keep it out as long as possible. You don't want to use the pallet too early or too slow. What I mean by too early is using it whenever the killer's not even there, before the killer gets stunned, or just getting rid of the pallet too early in loop. You could have probably used the loop two or three more times. What you want to do with these pallets is basically drain them for as long as you can. And sometimes the pallets would just be way too good for you to use too early in the game, so you might just have to take a hit to save it for later on for late game. And using the pallet too late, well, I'll just let you see for yourself how that looks. Man, shut But back to keeping your eyes on the killer at all times. As you're about to see, I continue to look forward and look behind me to make sure I know where the killer is and where I'm going at all times. Be looking back and forth every 2 seconds, but look every 5 seconds or 2 just to see where the killer's going or see where the killer's looking. Can help a lot in chases, or keep your chases longer than usual. Also helps in loops. As you can see, I'm keeping my eyes on the killer and doing little mind games. He's trying to trick me into going somewhere. I'm trying to bait him at. He don't know where I'm going. I don't know where he's going. We're playing mind games. I'm also holding a tight angle on the walls just in case he does decide to come around. Looping is just seeing who can outsmart who, if the killer can outsmart you, if you can outsmart the killer, or just keep the chase longer than usual. See that? We both got mine bet right there. Killer didn't know I was actually gonna come. I didn't know the killer was gonna go that deep. And here I tricked the killer like I was going that way, but ended up backdooring, giving me some more space and time. And he could have hit me there, but he wanted to go for the little tentacle swing, but I'm just going back and forth, and he ends up missing that. Find me a loop here, run around this pallet for as long as I can, end up almost messing that up. You know, doing a little teabag. He's just running the pallet, getting it out of here. And yeah, that's basically all looping is. You're just keeping the killer on you for as long as possible, doing mind games, running back and forth, keeping your eyes on the killer and where you're going at all times, holding tight angles on loops like this, dropping pallets when you think you're about to get hit, and trying to get or gain or keep as much distance away from the killer and not run away from loops too early. Like you see, he's not destroying it, so I'm just gonna stay here for a while because this is a pretty good loop. As you can see, I'm able to run around it, keeping my eyes on him. He breaks that. I go inside, I go over here, then we start looping another loop. And this is how you loop, basically, keeping the killer on you, holding tight angles, keeping your eyes on the killer. Not see how he was close by the end, decide to drop the pallet yet. I'm trying to prolong it as much as possible. I stun him right there. That's a nice stun. Now we have an even better loop. Now it's up to me to milk this loop or try to find a way out this loop, or wait for him to destroy the pallet, because if not, this could be an infinite loop. And yeah, he decides to destroy it, so now we go try to find the next best thing. Now that you have a basic understanding on how to loop the killer, let's talk about perks. Perks can help you stay in chase longer or help you just loop the killer longer. Perks are very useful. Not all perks will help you in chase or in looping, but certain perks will, and we'll discuss a few of them right now. Like Windows of Opportunity, that allows you to see pallets and windows within a certain distance, so you can know where all pallets and windows are nearby you. That could be very useful in the chase. Or Life, that gives you a small speed boost for a certain amount of time when vaulting windows or pallets. Or even a perk like Balanced Landing that gives you a small speed boost and doesn't stagger you as much when you're dropping off high places in the middle of a chase. It can also help with looping and get distance away from the killer. Now that you know a little bit more about looping and certain perks that can help, there's more perks. I can make a whole another video on that. You need to also know that you need to have some personal experiences. You need to go out there, start letting the killer chase you, and start experiencing your own, you know, loops and chases. The more you get into this, the better you'll get. I can't just say you watch this video, take what I told you, and be the next looping prodigy, but I can promise one thing: if you continue to play the game and keep what I've told you in mind, as in holding tight angles, looking for the red light from the killer to see which direction he's looking, keeping your camera on the killer and where you're going at all times, try to elongate pallets and also take advantage of windows and other objects on the map, dropping the pallet only when you absolutely need to, and then if the killer doesn't automatically destroy the pallet, don't run away from the pallet. Try to juice it as much as you can, get as much time as you can out of it, and running perks that will make your loops easier. You'll become a better looper over time. You don't even need the perks, but the perks do help, and I suggest if you're just getting into looping, you should run the perks until you're comfortable without them. And I also suggest y'all learn how to 360. 360 is very important for a survivor main or a survivor in general. You don't need to learn how to 360 a loop, but it also helps when there's no pallets or nothing nearby and you're out in the open and the killer's like 2 feet away from you, and you need a little bail system to make sure you don't get hit by the killer. As you're about to see here, I have nowhere to go and the killer's right behind me, and I need some more time to get the killer off of the person so we can get him off the hook. So I 360 him, and the killer's still pursuing the chase, so I 360 him again. With this strategy, is really good. You're gonna need it, so I suggest you learn it. I'm going to put in the description down below, and also at the end of the video is a very good high risk high reward survivor play. As you can see, we're able to get our teammate off the hook to get getting up somebody else, because I gave my teammates enough time to get the person off the hook. Even though someone did just go down, you can see the plays you can make off of this just by learning how to loop and learning how to 360. Again, if you want to learn how to 360, I'll put it in the description down below, and it will be at the end of the video. If I taught you something new or you just enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like on the video, leave a comment on how I helped you out and what else you want to learn. and just questions or stuff you want to know. I will be responding to all comments down below. And if you like DBD content and you want to get better at Dead by Daylight, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and I'll see y'all boys next time. Peace.
But that's alright. Hush.